Hello, this is a tarot reading for the energy of Virgo. I did a video earlier and it was for the energy of Virgo. However, I kind of went off in one of my little chat modes, I guess you could say, and I started chatting about the solstice. So this video is actually a tarot reading for the energy of Virgo. So with that being said, I'm using 3 decks this time. Last series, I didn't use an oracle deck, and I just felt like the reading just wasn't finished. It wasn't tied with a bow. So with that, we're going to use, so for that, we're going to use the Lantern Oracle by Angelina Mirabito. And then I'm also using the Baroque Tarot by Lamucci. And then we're going to start the reading off using the Mind's Eye Tarot by Olivia Rose. All right, so like I said, this is for the energy of Virgo. And though you may not have any planets in Virgo, you do have a house that sits within the sign of Virgo. So that just might be your Virgo energy. I do encourage people to check out the titles of my videos. Sometimes we might not resonate with the reading for our sign. So if that is you, then check out the titles of the rest of my videos and see if there is a title that resonates with you. All right, with that being said, Virgo, we're going to go ahead and get going. 5 of Swords, air energy. 5 of Pentacles, earth. And then 2 of Pentacles in reverse, more earth here. Okay, so, excuse me. Our weather here in Houston just is so, it's so on and off. One day it's hot, like 70 degrees hot, and the next day it's like 42 degrees. So, and then when that happens, my system, I guess, short circuits. And so luckily we don't really get sick too much around this household. All right, so here we go, Virgo. 5 of Swords, 5 of Pentacles, 2 of Pentacles. You're in a sort of energy of conflict, okay? Of things kind of not really going the way that you planned. The 5 of Swords likes to remind us that there might be some ego going on. There might be a situation in which your ego or the side of you that likes to be right or wants to win, it may be controlling you in this situation. And it may be bringing you towards some losses, some physical losses. We have the 2 of Pentacles in reverse, and that just says that you maybe can't really see a way out of it. You can't really see how how badly this is affecting you, or perhaps you don't really see another choice, is what I feel is more so the energy that I'm getting from this is you don't really see that you have a choice in the situation that you're in. So let's use the Baroque Tarot to dive into this message. This tarot deck is beautiful. It reminds me of Catholicism. So I was raised Catholic and I love the dogma of Catholicism. I like the ceremony. I like the stand up, sit down of Mass. I just think it's all so beautiful. The churches are beautiful. The art is beautiful. And if I were to be a Christian, I would most definitely be a Catholic. And so this deck just gives me some of those vibes here. Also, just kind of brings me back to nostalgia. My grandmother, she always had an altar dedicated to Jesus, and she always had artwork up there. It was in the corner of her room. It was on a shelf that was kind of floating in the corner of the wall, not actually floating. And then she had this nice kind of blanket like this, but it hung down and had these tassels. I don't know if y'all can see this. Yeah, and it was just going into her room. It was just so dark and just it felt good going in there though. And so this deck just kind of brings me back to those memories. She also had long hallways and she had those kind of like Persian rugs, but it wasn't, the detailing wasn't as intricate. And so she just had kind of a very gothic house, gothic Christian, I guess you gothic Catholic. And so this deck just really takes me back to that. All right, Five of Swords for you, Virgo. So we've got the Seven of Swords in reverse. Then we've got the Two of Swords upright. Remember, we had the Two of Swords reverse over here. Knight of Pentacles in reverse. The Star, Major Arcana. The Knight of Swords in reverse. And then the King of Swords. Okay, so I just want to call attention here that we've got the Two of Swords and Two of Swords. I'm sorry, Two of Pentacles. And one is upright and the other one is reverse, okay? Then we've got the King of Swords, which is reversed, but we've got the Five of Swords up here. Then that's upright. Then we've got the Knight of Pentacles reverse and Five of Pentacles upright. So there is some correlation here with this air and this pentacle energy that's going on. And it's like what is going on in the mental is not necessarily adding up to what's going on in the physical. Okay. We have Star card here, which is good. This card is sort of like it's like a guidepost, I guess you could say, in that, it's called the wish card. I hear a lot of people calling it the wish card. However, I think it's more along the lines of something that guides us. I think of the North Star, Polaris, when I see this card. And I think of that of the many past gone civilizations that sort of use the star, the Polaris star, as like the center of their belief system, sort of like we're heliocentric this day and age, and at one point people were lunar centric, right? And in earlier times people were polar star centric, Polaris centric, I don't know, but they used the star as their guidepost. And still, navigations, people who used to sail back in the day would use the North Star, Polaris, to kind of use them as a guidepost. And if you could find, where Polaris is, north, actually my north is this way, you can find pretty much any other constellation just by using this to, I guess, orientate yourself. And so this card means that. It's sort of like an orientation, to get you oriented, to get you focused, to get you in a direction that you want to head, right? So you do things in the present so that can get you towards this point. And so what I'm seeing here with this star underneath this Five of Pentacles, though you might see, that's in direct contrast of this. Okay, hang on. Let me sit with this just a bit here. So we've got the Two of Swords. You know what? Let me draw these cards down here. I think that's what I'm missing here. Eight of Pentacles, my bad. Five of Wands. Is this our first fire? Yeah, this is our first fire energy here. And the star is related to Aquarius, which is air. And then we've got the Eight of Swords. So lots of five action going on. And we don't have any water, okay? Which is amazing, that we don't have any water. So Five of Swords, Five of Pentacles, Five of Wands. And what I'm getting here from this star It's almost kind of like you have, you've either anticipated this situation, like you knew it was coming. You knew that this, maybe you had a dream, or maybe you might even be psychic, but you kind of knew that this situation was on the horizon and it was coming this way. That's the energy that I'm reading for here. So this Five of Swords, so we've got the Two of Swords, Seven of Swords in reverse, Eight of Pentacles. Now, I do see you are working pretty hard here to try to figure out what is going on. And, you know, the Five of Swords can be related to ego, but with these cards down here are clarifiers. I'm not getting that ego sense here. I'm more getting the sense that you're very much trying to understand this situation. You're really trying to dissect it, and you're putting a lot of energy into it. Two of Pentacles. So we've got the King of Swords upright, but the Knight of Swords in reverse. And I think that is pretty good. I think basically you need to just continue, Libra, on this path that you are working in. I said Libra, I meant Virgo, you know, and I do that very often. I always like interchange both of those two. And it's kind of interesting. I watched a YouTube video yesterday about that at one point the Virgo constellation was just like one big constellation, and it included all that we know of Virgo now, and from there through the end of Scorpio. And somehow it was broken up and they put Libra in the middle of it. That's just one theory. There was another theory that Libra was like the first sign, and then they kind of made everything around it. But I mean, this video just had so much information. And you know, it might just be the fact that I am a Libra rising, but a Libra rising in tropical, but a Virgo rising in sidereal. Why I keep mixing them up, I don't know. Who knows why? But I use them interchangeably quite often. Okay. Oh, I think y'all got the top of my head when I lean forward. I've got a camera up here so that y'all can see this down here. All right. So Virgo. King of Swords. So this is air of air. This Knight is fire of air. Then we've got this Eight of Swords. So what I'm getting here, this indecision, or this idea that you feel like you don't have many options, or that you don't have any way around this. I get the feeling that that is not so. Like that is just something you kind of put in your head because you really, I think deep down inside you knew that this situation was upcoming. You knew that this this conflict was coming, and you really just don't want to deal with it, right? I think that you just want it to kind of go away, and so you've kind of put this idea in your head that you don't have any options, that you can't do anything about it. But that is just something, maybe it might be like a coping mechanism for you. And I see with this King of Swords here that you're just going to have to put in more of some strategic thinking and some more of your frontal lobe activity to really try to figure this out. This Knight of Swords being in reverse, this is a call for you to not act too quickly, okay? You've got to really, like I said, dissect this, and you've got to understand it logically, inside and out, up and down, as much as you can, so that you don't do something that is kind of off the seat of the pants, off the cuff. I can't think of the saying. But basically, you don't want to act in haste. You don't want to act too quickly. You want to make sure that your plan is really well thought out. And perhaps that's why you're feeling like you don't have any choices, because you don't have a clear idea of what your plan is. And so since there's not a clear idea of what the plan is, it's just like, well, there is no plan. I don't really have one. So you're going to have to stay in this thinking mode. We've got lots of air energy here, lots. We've got 8 of Swords, Knight of Swords, King of Swords, 5 of Swords, 7 of Swords, 2 of Swords. And it's just like so much. And then we've got this, the only fire energy we have is this 5 of Wands. And because this Knight represents fire, okay? And like I said, there is no water. So either the best thing to do is to keep your emotions out of this situation and just make decisions on a purely logical standpoint, which I think is the case, or you're just, you're just completely just emotionally devoid of this, which I don't feel that that's the issue here. I think you do have some emotions that are invested in this. However, the situation is not calling for you to be to act on your emotions. It's calling you to be more logical and more thoughtful and just more strategic in this whole situation here. All right, Virgo. So that's what I have for you. Oh yeah, we've got to do the Oracle card from this Lantern Oracle. I do love this deck. Oh man, this whole time I didn't switch your view. So this is your spread. I just noticed that. Okay. And the reason why I noticed that I didn't switch your view is because I was going to switch the view back so you could see this card. So now what does this say? Distorted perceptions. Oh, that kind of fits, right? Distorted perceptions. The color of this, the artwork, I just think is so cool. It's kind of like a kaleidoscope. Reality is rarely what we are raised to believe it is. I think I might just take this, okay? Instead of shuffling through, we'll just use that as the card. All right, I kind of just feel called to do that. All right, let me look at this. It's card number 7. Let me also take some tea. All right, distorted perceptions. Reality is rarely what we are raised to believe it is. How we experience the world changes throughout life. Such shifts in perception typically occur when an event, a person, or place, or a new life stage leaves us questioning something integral to what had been our understanding of the world or ourselves. Consequently, our perception and thinking shifts irreversibly and changes how we experience our reality. Let me change this over for y'all. That way you'll have something better to look at. The maiden's expression is calm and accepting as she observes the world without the distorted lens of the feathered tent. Is this a feathered tent? Oh, I guess there are some feathers in here. I love her blue hair. The tent represents the outdated cultural, ancestral, and social conditioning she is awakening from. She stands firm and in solemn awe of the wisdom revealed in her newfound worldview. All that she has been raised to believe about the world and herself no longer applies. She sees beyond how limited and false certain aspects of her perception and understanding had been. With this new perspective and clarity, it is now possible for her to grow beyond, rather than blindly repeat, the intergenerational patterns, fears, and false beliefs that would otherwise have a deterring effect on the life she would go on to live. A sophisticated shift in consciousness will soon be made available to you. Initially seeing things differently, you may feel alienated or even like a betrayal or great loss. It may present initial challenges in what to do with and about this new perspective. especially if you had envisioned for your life, especially if what you had envisioned for your life is dramatically altered as a result. The maiden assures you that any confusion, grief, or upheaval from releasing distorted perceptions or limiting beliefs will eventually open into amazing opportunities, remarkable growth, and an increase in self-sovereignty. The maiden's message: power, beauty, and liberation happen when we do not close our eyes or retreat back into the mentality we have outgrown. And that, I think, is very agreeable to what this spread came out to say. Perhaps this situation that you're in, it's kind of been a pattern, and it's starting, you've kind of opened your eyes to this pattern, to seeing what it really is. And it's not sitting well for you, and it's sort of breaking these ideas and these thought processes and patterns that you thought were so solid. And you're kind of opening your horizons, I guess you could say. And so with this newfound information, you're not quite sure what to do with it. You don't know how to handle it. You're kind of apprehensive about the steps that you need to take. You're unsure of yourself. You're unsure of what you need to do. However, you ultimately know what you need to do. You just don't really want to do it, because those roads can sometimes be a lot tougher than we're willing to experience. But one thing that I have learned is, just because it seems like the task is too big, doesn't necessarily mean that it is. It's just our fear or apprehension of even starting the task, of starting something unknown. That's the fear that we carry, because we don't know the future. We can't see into the future. We don't know what's going to happen. So oftentimes, we're just afraid of the unknown, as opposed to afraid what is actually going to happen. However, if we continue down these destructive, I'm putting those in light air quotations, these destructive paths, they soon sort of start deconstructing our life. And we can no longer function in a deconstructed life anymore, because we need that tower moment to kind of come in and just blow everything up. So yes, I hope this has helped you, Virgo. I almost said Libra. I don't know if you caught that. But I hope this has helped you. And yeah, I'll see you next reading. Take care.